Mirchi FM is #1 in Singapore.
और किसके सुनिए यार, हमारा एक सच्चा साथी है मिर्ची एफएम लंबा साथी.
I love Mirchi FM. It's so hot.
देखे में लाल लाल, खाए में हाय हाय. Tangi taupa में Mirchi FM is hot.
Here at Rugby Town, Singatoka, love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Suva.
It's hot.
हम इंग्लिश लंबासा में रहता है, तो क्या बताइए हम मिर्ची एफएम सुनता है.
Mirchi FM, बहुत जुलूम जुलूम.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
In the news tonight, major water cuts planned for Nandi and Lautoka. PBS to meet residents about Waimbola plan. And Land Ministry clamps down on illegal developments. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. More than 100,000 people in Nandi and Lautoka will be without water this weekend while the Water Authority carries out urgent repairs. Edwin Nund has more.
The shutdown will affect all parts of Nandi and the majority of Lautoka.
Now these works are necessary to improve the hydraulics of the system and also prepare our system to cater for the demand that we anticipate in the coming years. And so these upgrades will continue.
The three major repairs are on the pipeline from Vaturu Dam to the Nangando water treatment plant, a high-pressure line which carries millions of tons of water. This means 161,545 people in Lautoka and Nandi won't have water over the weekend.
The leaks need to be repaired quickly. That is why we are doing it this weekend. And if we don't, then we risk that pipeline further deteriorating because of the high pressure, and that will be a bigger catastrophe. So we're wanting to prevent that from happening.
Water carting will be available, but residents are reminded they will need to store enough to last them 48 hours. The only unaffected areas in Lautoka are those fed by the Mbuambua and Saru water treatment plants. All hotels and resorts, hospitals and other major facilities have already been told to prepare. Edwin Nund, FBC News.
The Elections Office has now started its polling recruitment drive in Suva. More than 1,000 people looking to be hired turned up at the FMF Gymnasium in Lauvala Bay on the first day of the drive to hire the necessary personnel. Mohammed Saneem says recruitment is based on merit. He says they will also be recruiting from other major centres in the Eastern, Western and Northern Division.
The idea for the 2014 general elections is to have it as a participatory process. We would like to involve as many Fijians as possible. In today's recruitment drive, the first of many, 1,100 Fijians registered and took part in the 15 minutes test.
To access information on recruitment dates in other parts of the country, check their website www.electionsfiji.gov.fj. The Ministry of Lands is going to clamp down on the increasing number of illegal developments in the West. An audit has found a staggering number of leaseholders unlawfully subdividing Crown land in the Nandi area. Christopher Chand reports.
It's becoming a major problem for the ministry. At Navakai Nandi alone, there are 25 illegal subdivisions, agricultural leaseholders building houses for rent on state land.
So we'll be having an operation which we have called, referred to as Operation Savachia, means clean up, effective beginning June.
These illegal developments are all over Nandi. Korovuto, Navo, Nandovi and Megania are the most common areas.
All those who have illegally subdivided their lands and all those that have breaches. And this time around we are having two operations. One Operation Savachia is to clean up for the subdivisions that are illegally done, and the second one those who have arrears. So we refer to that operation as Operation Saumia.
The Ministry of Lands will send a team to Nandi next month and move on to other districts all over the Western Division.
We can impose penalties if they are able to address the breaches that they have undertaken. Otherwise, we are going to have re-entry, meaning if they don't address it, it can lead to termination of lease.
Operation Savatia and Operation Saumia will cover the Western Division to try and stop further exploitation of state land and to deter other people from doing such illegal activities. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
Fiji has been praised for her strong commitment towards decolonisation. This was acknowledged by the UN Special Committee on Decolonisation in a regional seminar that was opened by the Prime Minister in Nandi today. Akusita Tale reports.
Over the course of 16 years, Fiji has hosted 3 seminars of the UN Special Committee on Decolonisation in 1998, 2002 and 2006. This is the 4th meeting here in the country, and Fiji holds the record as the committee member that has opened its home the most times for this biannual event.
This is an eloquent expression of Fiji's strong commitment and support for the committee's work and cause of decolonisation in general.
Bainimarama encouraged delegates about the importance of listening to the people.
If they choose independence, we must respect and support their decision. If they choose some form of association, we must support their right to negotiate as equals, the relationship that best serves their interests.
The seminar will provide an opportunity to gain a deeper knowledge of issues that still face 17 territories on the UN list of non-self-governing territories.
Fiji is working with the Melanesian Spearhead Group and the Special Committee itself to support the efforts of the Kanak people in New Caledonia for the transfer of power to the New Caledonian authorities as per the roadmap set out by the Noumea Accord.
The Special Committee is expected to convene in New York next month, where it will address the progress in the efforts for self-determination and other key developments. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
Lami-based construction company Pacific Building Solutions will hold a public consultation with residents of Waimbola about its plans for a heavy industrial area. Managing Director Michael Fairfax says they will address any concerns and assist residents in understanding the scope of the project. Fairfax says they engaged environmental consultants Envy Green in August 2011 to carry out an environmental impact assessment. This was done to comply with requirements and was reviewed by the Department of Environment and Lands. Fairfax emphasizes they've taken into consideration the livelihood of residents who depend on the bay for food. The Lami Town Council has submitted its recommendation to the Department of Town and Country Planning after reviewing letters of objection. Coming up, MIDA prepares its new office in Domain.
Today FM is #1 here in Singapore.
We love Today FM in Lambasa. It rocks!
My favorite station in Nandi is Today FM.
Listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks in Sabah.
Loto kasi di love Today's Kid Music.
I love Today FM because they play all my songs.
We love Today FM at Vunival Lambasa. Yeah, it rocks!
I love Today FM because it rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Bulan 2 saya Tolu FM, enapan 2 rakirai.
Bula FM namban 2 inosor.
Go etapo ke boto kola sa Bula FM nga.
Bula FM namban 2 korbo.
Bula FM namban 2 esawa.
Bula FM namban 2 lotoka. Bula.
Namban 2 nang Bula FM memba.
Bula FM
namban 2 NSR in Singapore.
Kalau tali tak ada warung nang Bula FM lotoka.
Ali akar warung Bula FM namban 2 NSR.
Bula FM namban 2 NSR.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. The government's newly commissioned landing craft MV Vunilangi has successfully completed its maiden voyage and is ready to sail to other islands. The vessel went to Rotuma 2 days after it was commissioned in Suva. Api Salome Doka was on that maiden voyage and filed this story.
The MV Vunilangi plowed through the rough seas for its 740-kilometer or 2.5-day journey to Rotuma. On board were 30 government officials and 12 crew members.
We feel good and feel great to be part of this voyage, and we had a good team on board with the crew members of the ship. I really appreciate it. to be part of this maiden voyage.
I feel blessed to be part of the maiden voyage. This is my first trip to Rotuma, and I'm so happy to be the first on board the Vunilangi.
Quite happy to be part of the government officials who visit Rotuma, and also for part of the maiden voyage for these new vessels. It's quite interesting, especially during the worst weather conditions. The boat is really suitable for this kind of voyage, especially the people going up the islands.
Despite the rough seas, passengers did their best to remain calm, tucking into meals and having some cover when they could. There was much relief when the vessel arrived in Rotuma. The MV Vunilangi was bought by the government at a cost of 2.4 million from Malaysia. The 45.5 meters vessel can carry 30 passengers and cargo, and it travels at about 10 nautical miles an hour. It will be serving the maritime zone, covering islands in the Lomaiviti and the Lao groups and Kandavu. Api Salome Doka, FBC News.
The Media Industry Development Authority has confirmed that no freelance journalists have applied to register. Ellen Stahls reports.
Section 33 of the Media Decree states that every media organization that provides or intends to provide media services in Fiji must be registered. MIDA Director Matai Akola says those who don't abide by provisions of the decree can be subjected to penalties. However, he adds it's not all about penalties.
A lot of times people have looked at the media decree and have just focused on the authority that we have, to dish out penalties. But the thing is, it's more towards development.
Akola says while they await registration, there are other matters that need their urgent attention. These include setting up a MIDA secretariat and getting a headquarters up and running at Domain in Suva.
We've got our new office here at Andindavilla Road, Domain, Korazate. This, we hope, will be the media hub, even building up to the elections. It's not only for the media authority, it is for media colleagues. There might be functions, there might be workshops, trainings. This will be their place.
Akola also told FBC News he might be contemplating moving on after his work with MIDA is complete.
Plans are, thoughts are to move on after the work that I do for MIDA. So, like I said, I've got work to do now up until the elections, and probably after the elections, then I might think of moving on, and I just need to see that everything's in place before I move on.
Akola also says that the MIDA is currently looking towards holding elections workshops for media practitioners as early as next month. Ellen Stahls, FBC News.
The Prime Minister opened a 5th legal aid office in Singatoka today, giving residents equal access to the justice system. The government has made it a priority to ensure that legal services are available in every town and city, so residents will no longer have to travel to major centres to seek legal advice. The new office will remove obstacles of time, distance and expense.
My government remains firmly committed to providing equal access to the justice system for every Fijian. In particular, for those Fijians who are unable to afford the services of a lawyer, in particular for those Fijians who are underprivileged and marginalized.
Meanwhile, the Savu and Navua offices have been completed and are about to go into operation. 3 more legal aid offices planned for Nasinu, Taviuni and Tavua are expected to be opened by July. The government has steadily increased funding of legal aid to a record of $4.4 million this year. Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama today launched the public leadership model for senior-level public servants. The model, developed by the PSC, supports building and sustaining a strong public service. It also provides capability, descriptions and desired behaviors for senior executives. At the launch, Bainimarama stressed the need to provide equal and efficient services to all Fijians.
This document will be a valuable resource for the PSC as Fiji returns parliamentary elections in September. I congratulate all those who have had a hand in its creation. But I also ask you to remember that by itself, this document is just words on a page. To have meaning, it is up to each of you to translate these words into action.
The Prime Minister also highlighted key developments such as the new government service centres, legal aid offices and health facilities. That time again, Jamie joins you now with sports.
Good evening. Coming up, local-based flying Fijians march into camp and New Caledonia under-19 hungry for World Cup spot. These stories and more after the break.
It's always Gold FM for us at Golden Point, Raki Raki.
Gold FM is #1 in Nusrat.
Gold FM is Nandi's best radio station.
It's always Gold FM with us here in Singatoka.
Old is gold and Gold FM is #1 here in Lautoka.
Singatoka loves classic hits on Gold FM.
We listen to Gold FM here in Tagua.
We love Gold FM in Bang.
We've got beautiful beaches, people, and Gold FM in Raki Raki.
Lautoka loves the classic hits on Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bato Bahe, Bame Radio Fiji 2 के कौन सा के रोके ऑनलाइन क्लियर
रेडियो फिजी 2 रकी रकी के लोग ज्यादा सुनते हैं
नैनी में हम सबकी पसंद रेडियो फिजी 2
तालेबू के लोग रेडियो फिजी 2 सबसे ज्यादा सुन रहे हैं
मेरी पसंद रेडियो फिजी 2 नसोरी में सभी को पसंद रेडियो फिजी 2
टावा में रेडियो फिजी 2 सभी कोई सुनते हैं
रेडियो फिजी 2 रॉक
रेडियो फिजी 2 आई लव यू
देश की धड़कन रेडियो फिजी 2
Welcome back to FBC Sports. The local hopefuls in the Flying Fijian side marched into camp today. The 10 players underwent a medical test at the FRU headquarters this morning before making their way to Queen Elizabeth Barracks in Nambour. This will be an opportune time for the Ruggers to gel with new coach John McKee. The remaining overseas-based players will arrive into camp next week. New Caledonia's under-19 football side has set foot on Fijian soil with eyes fixed on the under-20 World Cup next year. The side put in the hard yards preparing for the qualifiers and will be using this as its foundation for a grand outing. Pravin Narayan caught up with the team today.
Calm before the storm as the New Caledonia football side waits the start of the under-19 championship. Months of preparation is the recipe the team is using to reign supreme.
We begin our preparation in January with some training session during days in several weeks. Also, we have the players who competed with their own clubs in the senior level. So I think we are ready as physical and mental aspect.
The team is putting final touches to its armour in the bag to excel at Lodala when the dust settles.
So it will be a hard competition, and I know that every team will be ready, and we must work on this tactical aspect and mental aspect to do a good competition.
One of the starters in the team who had played for the Sheffield United Academy in England is ready for the challenge.
It's going to be very hard. Every game is going to be hard. All our game, we consider them like all the same. We're going to give like all our energy on every game. Especially these first 3 games, Vanuatu, Fiji, Solomon, and as well PNG.
With just 2 more nights before their first game, the confidence level of the New Caledonians is truly second to none. Pravin Narayan, FBC Sports.
Thanks to Fiji Volleyball, AUSAID and the Fiji Women's Crisis Centre, a new day in sport approaches. Their partnership will see Fiji Volleyball adopt a child protection policy that will be promoted at all its events. Elena McDonald reports the volleyballers now want the sporting fraternity to follow in their footsteps.
Sports is a powerful tool in society and therefore a good place to build awareness on issues.
Realized because of the high prevalence of abuse that is happening in the country today, we thought that while out there in the communities we may come across children that may have problems.
A workshop in Suva today has allowed some to address community concerns.
All our officials, all potential coaches apart from the official, need to be educated on child protection policies, or on the policies that governs any child athlete, right from the grassroots right to the senior level.
The realization is many more factors need to be considered when organizing competitions.
Children are also there as spectators, their mothers, their children, their grandmothers. As administrators for Fiji Volleyball, as officials, we want our officials to be role models to the children because they may grow up one day and play volleyball.
Say, for instance, a coach would approach a male athlete would be totally different altogether on how he or she approaches a female athlete. So I think it's important to have a basis of understanding.
Education is key, and for Fiji Volleyball, that started today. Elena McDonald, FBC Sports.
The Sunny West Bowling Carnival was launched last night, with organisers wanting to make the event one of the biggest in the country. Bowling its way into its 7th year of existence, the tournament continues to thrive. Indra Singh has more.
Drawing the shots, or better still, rolling the Sunny West Bowling Carnival to great heights is the target for 2014.
Our total money giving out as prizes is almost above $15,000. And as I remember, because I've been bowling for over 30 years, this would be first or maybe second of such prize money at stake for the bowlers.
The tournament has also bowled its way to success after its start some 7 years ago.
It took us 3 years of preparation and then we got it going. Nandi Sports Club was a major player because we had a green at the time.
The venue is also ready to have the 30 bowlers try their hand at the Nandi Greens.
Nandi Sports Club is obviously being very strong in supporting the bowling, as you can see the greens, and it's something we are pleased to see that there's lots of competitions being held here. And the boys have been spending a lot of time on preparing the grounds ready for the competition in the following few days.
The sponsors say they didn't have second thoughts getting involved after what was seen last year.
The value of the total sponsorship is around $10,000 from Sonosali. We're giving away prize accommodation vouchers for the team members who first prize, for the team of fours, and then of course a second prize voucher as well. So total value is around $10,000.
It's now time for the bowlers to find the kitty and engrave their names on the major prize. The jet set town will sure be bubbling with backhands, forehands and of course shots. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
And that's it from Sports Tonight. Good evening.
In an effort to inform consultants and contractors what the Fiji Roads Authority expects of them, a one-day workshop was organised by FRA and MWH Global in Suva today. FRA Chief Executive Neil Cook says it's important that contractors are aware of the processes to follow while applying for tender. They were also advised how the FRA evaluates tender applications.
One particular contract, price might be the most important thing. On another contract, we might be more concerned about how quickly they can do the work. We might be very concerned about do they have the right equipment for this particular type of work that we're asking. It varies from tender to tender.
Several local contractors and some from China are working for the FRA. It's weather time with Trish.
Looking at today's map, Suva and Savu had cloudy periods with scattered brief showers all day long. As for Nani, Lotoka and Lambasa, both had fine weather all day. Temperatures today, well, Suva was the lowest with 27, Nandi, Lotoka and Savu were all on 28, whereas Bar reached 29 and Lambasa hit 33. It will be cool again tonight with Raki and Tavua dropping to a chilly 16, the rest of us in the 17-19 degree range overnight. Tomorrow's forecast for Suva and Savu, brief showers and cloudy periods all day. Nadi, Lotokumba and Lambasa should see fine weather throughout the day. The further outlook, southeast winds 10 to 15 knots with moderate seas and moderate southerly swells. This is our picture of the day, all the way from Rotuma. This heap of dalo was once a famous export to Tuvalu.
Thanks so much for that, Trish. The headlines once again, major water cuts are planned for Nandi and Lautoka this weekend as the Water Authority will carry out urgent repairs. PBS to meet residents about its plan to develop Waimbolam Bay in Lami, and Lands Ministry clamps down on illegal developments in the Nandi area. To our poll question now, we're asking, should tollways be introduced on the roads? Another comment on the poll, this is just one of many solutions that can reduce one being late to work. We can stop waking up early in the morning to leave for work. Now, if you agree or disagree with the statement, have your say. Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That's FBC News tonight. We'll be back tomorrow evening. Till then, good evening.
Talita na Radio Fiji One na mwirani nondo bonua.
Ando talita kana borrongo na Radio Fiji One singa toka mboleta ni station ni Alumatu.
Ando talita ka bale una borrongo na Radio Fiji One station ni Alumatu ilo toka.
Ando talita ka bale una borrongo na Radio Fiji One na Nandi na station ni Alumatu.
Au tuko korbo ando borrongo leve na station ni Alumatu na Radio Fiji One.
Ando borrongo na Radio Fiji One na station ni Alumatu na mandoi tele.
Na Radio Fiji One nando moi vitina bonga ni BNN.